The last phase in the cubing process is evaluation, and you determine whether or not you like it and then explain why or why not. You can also go a little bit deeper into the quality of what it is that you're talking about and answer questions like how and in what way. When I'm thinking about caramel, I have yeses and nos. Yes, I love quality caramel that is rich and creamy. Um, but then some of it I don't like. I've gotten some that are too hard and stale, and they just taste like, I don't know, old paper or something. I don't really like them like that. Also, I have a dairy allergy, and caramel has milk in it, so anytime I get one, I'm gonna be hacking and coughing for a couple of days. Um, those are elements that I think of with the dairy allergy and with the evaluation of it. Now, I also have to think a little bit more deeply. That would work, in establishing an opinion about it. But if I'm writing about, my grandmother, I can analyze and evaluate um, what was it about spending time with her that made it of quality. And I'm thinking about the stories that I heard her tell that I probably wouldn't have heard had I not been doing those activities with her. She would talk about when they would spin sugar and make candy, and I thought I'd never really knew about that. I wouldn't have known what that was like um, had she not been there, triggered by those memories at the candy counter. I think also a thing that is really powerful in evaluating the impact that being there with my grandmother and my mother together is they're gone now. And that image in my mind is comforting. I can still see her old little hands rolling up that bag and hiding it in her purse with this little silly grin on her face. Um, it's kind of a fun thing to see your grandmother smiling like a child. And then I remember she would roll that bag down and make a little pocket of it behind her headboard so she could just reach behind her head and grab a little cherry sour whenever she was ready to go to sleep. It was just that simple joy of seeing her do that that I think was added to what I was doing. And as I look at the power that this does, it helps me think about, that I can put some of those ideas in my conclusion for the memoir. Though triggers those ideas that I can use to compose, and it gives me kind of an idea for details that I can add in there. I can tell that specific story about how she would relate them spinning sugar for Christmas. I can talk about the details in my mind, and then I can talk about why it was important and why I felt like that needed to be a good ending for my story. So it's your turn now to turn and think about what you're going to do and how you're going to lay out those ideas, and you've got a lot of power in how you're going to see things that you may not have really thought about. So the problem now won't be the blank page. The problem will be selecting and prioritizing what you want to include in that paper. And I'm looking forward to seeing where you're headed next. This is, as I've shown you before, is how I've started mine. This one is just the beginning thoughts. And I'm going to be working on it a little bit more and sharing the ideas with you as we continue through and decide how we can use the strategy of cubing to really inform and lead us to a paper that is fully developed, fully explained, and can achieve our purposes as writers.